Hello everybody, this is Sodhi from CAAN Wings Consultants Private Limited. It's a beautiful day, it's raining, and we are so happy and delighted to be back in office since the last week and doing this video with you. So welcome to my video session once again. As you all are aware that the Australian immigration year will be starting on the 1st of July, and people have very actively started with their application processes. In case you have not started your process yet, please do it immediately. Now, this video is about some of the things which I think I need to give you more clarifications on, because there still seems to be a certain level of unclarity over these areas. The first one is about the occupation lists. Now basically there are three occupation lists which carry the eligible occupations if you're applying for subclass 189, 190 or 491, that is offshore skilled migration visas. Now, I've often seen that people invariably like to nominate an occupation that is listed on the MLTSSL. Now, MLTSSL is a list that has an overall shortage, which means it has a nationwide shortage in Australia. Therefore, anybody whose occupation is listed on the MLTSSL does not need to route the application through a nomination. Which means that if the person independently scores 65 points, they are free to lodge their visa application, and no state would need to nominate them. So, this might sound a little simple to a lot of people. So they think, oh, it's so hassle-free, no nomination involved, nothing. All we do is just get a skills assessment and move on with a visa application. So let's go ahead and nominate one of the occupations that's on the MLTSSL. Now, what happens is that in this process, they end up jeopardizing their skills assessment. That means they end up going for an occupation which may not be a perfect fit with what they're actually doing. So, for the benefit of having a positive skills assessment for an MLTSSL occupation, they end up getting a rejection or a negative assessment from the relevant skills assessment body, because they are forcibly trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So that is something you need to be very careful about. You should not be doing it. Now, when we talk about the STSOL and ROL, these lists are those lists for which, of course, nomination is mandatory. You cannot even think of applying for an STSOL or ROL occupation without going in for a nomination. Let's say, let's talk about a marketing specialist, or let's talk about a financial institution branch manager, or let's talk about a private tutor not elsewhere classified. Examples of such occupations obviously need a nomination. These people cannot apply directly under 199 subclass. Now, choosing an occupation is very, very important, and I would say it's very, very technical. We as consultants, I've been into this Australian immigration for the last, I would say, almost 20 years now. And we've seen that, people think that, a certain occupation may be appropriate for them to nominate based on the designation, based on whatever they think. Whereas when they come to us, we may have a 180-degree view, and a diagrammatically opposite view of what they have. And this really surprises them, that how come you are suggesting an occupation which we clearly think would not be okay for us, or something we could not even think of. So this is where the expertise comes in. I would like you to understand that we as professional consultants have a lot of experience with helping you choose the right occupation. And trust me, choosing the occupation is a very technical job. And when you come to experts, they can help you understand which particular occupation would be the best fit. And yes, I definitely would like to add here, we never select an occupation for our clients based on what is available on the state migration occupation lists. Having said that, what I mean is that a lot of times people are trying to forcibly nominate an occupation that is currently available for nomination. So they say, oh, we've seen that this occupation is available in Victoria, or this occupation is available in South Australia, so we want to go with this occupation. But when we study their profile, we have to tell them that, but this is not who you are, this is not what you do. Therefore, my suggestion is, please do not try to go for an occupation which is currently on the state occupation list, for two very good reasons. One, The skills assessment takes around 3 months time, unless and until of course you go for a fast track process. And by the time you end up getting a positive skills assessment from whichever body you applied for, there is a fair possibility that the state occupation list changes, because they frequently keep on changing or revising their lists. Also, as long as your occupations are listed either on the MLTSSL or on the STSL or on the ROL, your occupation is bound to be available for nomination in one state or another, today, tomorrow, day after, or sometime soon. So go for an occupation which actually truly reflects the nature of tasks that you perform, and not match it with what is available. Now, another thing I'd like to share with you here is the concept of closely related occupations. I think a lot of you may not be aware of it. It's a little tricky, it's a little complicated to understand. A lot of times, people who have a work experience, maybe in not the exact same occupation that they're going for, but a closely related occupation, even that work experience will be taken into consideration, and you can claim points for that experience as well. Of course, if you need more clarity, you would need more clarity on that, do get in touch with us and we'll explain you about that. Now, that was it for the occupation. So my clear message to you on this is, when you are selecting an occupation, please go for an expert advice, go for a very experienced migration agent, because your skills assessment is the foundation of your skilled migration application, and if the foundation goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So quickly, I'd just like to add here a little bit of tips that I'd like to give you. One is that a lot of people ask us, what is the cutoff for 491 visa? So viewers, again, I've actually already stated this in many videos, and I'm repeating myself here. There is no cutoff for 491 visa. There are no invitation rounds for 491 state nominated visas. 95% of the applicants who are applying for 491 visa, or I would say even more than 95, let's say 98% of the people who are applying for a 491 visa are relying upon state nomination, and there is no concept of invitation rounds or cutoff, that what is the cutoff for 490. There's no cutoff. As long as you have 65 points, you're good to go. Now again, a lot of times people say, oh, but still, if our point score is higher, definitely we'll get an edge. No, you'll not get an edge. 65 points or 85 points, 95 points is one and the same thing. As long as you meet the criteria. I mean, yes, meeting the state criteria is important, but having a higher score under 491 visa is not important. Now, another question people ask us is that it is heard that you need a job letter for the 491 visa, or some states need a job letter. Again, please let me make it very clear. 491 visa is not a job related visa. It has nothing to do with a job offer. So yes, that is true. Some states have been recently asking for job offers in order to give you nomination, but that's a very temporary kind of a thing. Once those states revise their lists from 1st July onwards, there's a very high probability that they'll not ask for a job letter. And since this visa, 491 visa, does not involve a job letter like an employer nominated visa, employer sponsored visa does, so there is no question why you need a job letter, and every client that we sign up under 491 visa is not asked to get any job offer. It's without a job offer visa. On the basis of your points, you get your skilled migration. Last thing, quickly, I'd like to just touch base on is Tasmania just issued us an update recently. They have the applications that were lodged with Tasmania for 491 have not been processed owing to the delays caused by the COVID. So please, there's a difference here. It's not that they didn't process the applications because the COVID situation is so bad, they think that, now they don't want to process or take any more applicants. No, it's just that they've been understaffed and working from home. And since the the immigration year for Australia was ending, we're already in June, first week, and it ends on 30th of June. So they just decided not to process the applications for nomination temporarily, and they have already refunded the application fee for the applicants who had sent in their applications, with a very clear message that in case you want to still apply for a Tasmanian nomination, once they revise their list, which will be anytime after July during the new migration year, which begins on 1st of July, you are most welcome to submit another application for nomination. So that is it for now, and we will meet again very soon. And please again continue writing to me, sending me messages about your queries. I'm looking at serious queries. I'm looking at meaningful questions that you're looking answers for, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. For those of you who are our registered clients, please use your caseworker's email ID to ask any questions. And for those of you who are watching this video for the first time or who are not registered with us, please drop in your emails at caanwings@gmail.com, that is CAANWINGS@gmail.com, or give us a call on 78498 You can also send your questions on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to answer this for you. Until next time, bye-bye.